Here's a question. Why are we still using Facebook? I'm serious. Why are you and I still using Facebook? We know that they're spying on us, mining data from us, censoring, mapping, and monitoring us. So why are we still using Facebook? Here's another question. Why are we still using Google? Why are we still Googling? We know they're withholding information from us, suppressing, restricting, and deleting some stuff. So why are we still using Google? Why are we still fighting each other? Why are we still mocking each other? If we're the so-called awake people, not the mind-controlled sheeple people, why are we still so mean to each other? On Facebook, no less, and Twitter, where we devour our feed like farm animals. And then we feed on fake food from questionable sources with questionable ingredients, delivered on the backs of big trucks to monopolized markets in gentrified districts, while we emphatically argue over whose diet is more morally and ethically acceptable and suitable. Meanwhile, we all know all the time about the additives and preservatives and all the other chemicals found in and or on pretty much everything we consume. Most, if not all, of the soil's been soiled. The water has poison in it. We're not the boiling frogs anymore. We're a frog that's been boiled, drowning in cognitive dissonance. Listen, history is rewritten in real time by the winners. But winning requires participation. So let's band together to make the world better, log out of the matrix, and win. Hi, everybody. My name is Benny Wills, and this is another installment of Words, Words, Words. I call that piece, Cancer is Curable and Other Truths Worth Fighting For. And as you can see, I'm not in my normal studio space, aka my house. At the moment, I'm at my parents' house in Southern California. This is one of their rooms. I locked myself in here to film this because I want to make sure I stay consistent. Friendly reminder at the top of the show here, you can become a sponsor of me and the show by going to patreon.com/BennyWills, or you can make a one-time donation through PayPal. Every dollar I get goes towards paying off my student loan debt, which is currently around $84,000, and I'd like to pay it off. So the sooner the better. If you like me, if you like the show, send me some bucks. Without further ado, today, I said I was going to keep it light because last week was pretty dark. All that Hollywood, pedowood stuff is pretty dark and heavy. But I'm not going to keep it light this week so much. It's not going to get as dark as last week. But I thought in light of YouTube's new terms of service as of December 10th, I would shed light on exactly what those terms of service are by simplifying their blog, which they sent to me twice because I have two channels, and to all other YouTubers that if you're just a consumer of YouTube, I don't know if you've seen this stuff. Probably some of you have, but we got a notification very directly giving us a pretty kind warning as to what's going to happen if we violate any of their new terms and services. So today, that's what I'm going to be breaking down for you. I've taken their TOS guidelines, hate speech policy, and cut out the fat just to bring you exactly what they're saying with their new TOS. On December 11th, this past Wednesday, we all received a notice saying an update to our harassment policy. And like I said, I've trimmed the fat. This is what they said. In their own words, YouTube. We manage content on YouTube by removing it when it violates our guidelines, reducing the spread of borderline content, raising up authoritative voices when people are looking for breaking news and information, and rewarding trusted creators and artists that make YouTube a special place. Today, we are announcing a series of policy and product changes that update how we tackle harassment on YouTube. Harassment hurts our community. We met with a number of experts who shared their perspective and informed our process, from organizations that study online bullying or advocate on behalf of journalists, to free speech proponents and policy organizations from all sides of the political spectrum. We will not tolerate harassment. And then in big bold letters, a stronger stance against threats and personal attacks. Our policies will not only prohibit explicit threats, but also veiled or implied threats. There is also demeaning language that goes too far. We're building upon the framework we use for our hate speech policy. And hate speech policy is a blue hyperlink that you can click on. We will no longer allow content that maliciously insults someone based on protected attributes such as their race, gender expression, or sexual orientation. In other words, you can't be critical of someone who's trans. More bold letters. Consequences for a pattern of harassing behavior. We're tightening our policies to get even tougher on those who engage in harassing behavior and to ensure we reward only trusted creators. Channels that repeatedly brush up against our harassment policy will be suspended, eliminating their ability to make money on YouTube. We may also remove content from channels if they repeatedly harass someone. If this behavior continues, we'll take more severe action, including issuing strikes or terminating a channel altogether. More bold letters. Addressing toxic comments. Comments are often where creators and viewers encounter harassment. This behavior not only impacts the person targeted by the harassment, but can also have a chilling effect on the entire conversation. To combat this, we remove comments that clearly violate our policies. As someone who's been on YouTube since 2012, I've received many toxic comments. And I've learned the best way to deal with those toxic comments is to ignore them. Just deal with it. It's the internet. People are not always on their best behavior on the internet. And it sucks to get a crappy comment, but it comes with the territory. And you know what? I learned something very important when I was a kid. I learned a phrase, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me." And for every one crappy comment, there are 10 other ones that are supportive and kind and encouraging. I focus on those. Haters gonna hate, a wise man once said. Moving on. So I clicked on the hyperlink to the hate speech policy, which they put out earlier this year, and I thought I'd break it down for you. This is YouTube's hate speech policy, simplified. We remove content promoting violence or hatred against individuals or groups based on any of the following attributes: age, caste, disability, ethnicity, gender identity and expression, nationality, race, immigration status, religion, sex/gender, sexual orientation, victims of a major violent event and their kin, and veteran status. If you find content that violates this policy, please report it. Don't post content on YouTube if the purpose is to do one or more of the following: encourage violence or incite hatred. Incite hatred. That's tough to define. Bold letters. Other types of content that violate this policy. This is where it gets really interesting. Dehumanizing individuals or groups by calling them subhuman, comparing them to animals, insects, pests, disease, or any other non-human entity. Praise or glorify violence against individuals or groups based on the attributes noted above. Use of racial, religious, or other slurs and stereotypes that incite or promote hatred based on any of the attributes noted above. Well, that means parody's out the window. Claim that individuals or groups are physically or mentally inferior, deficient, or diseased based on any of the attributes noted above. This really is the death of comedy. allege the superiority of a group over those with any of the attributes noted above to justify violence, discrimination, segregation, or exclusion. Conspiracy theories, ascribing evil, corrupt, or malicious intent to individuals or groups based on any of the attributes noted above. Call for the subjugation or domination over individuals or groups based on any of the attributes noted above. Deny that a well-documented violent event took place. Don't do it. Attacks on a person's emotional, romantic, and/or sexual attraction to another person. Content containing hateful, supremacist propaganda. Music videos promoting hateful supremacism. This next section is their examples section, and it's actually pretty hilarious. Here are examples of hate speech not allowed on YouTube. I'm glad this blank happened. They got what they deserved. Blank are dogs, or blank are like animals. More examples. Get out there and punch a blank. Everyone in blank are all criminals and thugs. Blank is scum of the earth. Blank are a disease. Blank are less intelligent than us because their brains are smaller. Don't say it. Our existence is threatened by blank, so we should drive them out at every chance we get. Blank has an agenda to run the world and get rid of us. That's an example of hate speech. You guys, this is outrageously Orwellian. More examples. Blank is just a form of mental illness that needs to be cured. Blank shouldn't be educated in schools because they shouldn't be educated at all. All of the so-called victims of this violent event are actors. No one was hurt, and this is just a false flag. That's hate speech. Shouting, this one's funny, shouting, disabled people are pests at someone even if the person doesn't have a disability. Disparaging someone for pretending when showing their gender identity or gender expression. So, can't comment on men who think they're women and women who think they're men anymore. Got it. All of the so-called victims of this are actors. No one was hurt. Shouting blank are pests at someone regardless of whether the person does or does not have the alleged attributes. And finally, video game content which has been developed or modified to promote violence or hatred against a group. If we think your content comes close to hate speech, we may limit YouTube features available for that content. Well, what I learned from that is you cannot call anybody a pest. So there's all kinds of links imbued within all this stuff, and one of them is called Our Ongoing Work to Tackle Hate. And in it, this is from June 5th, they describe in detail their 4 R's: removing, raising up, reducing, and rewarding. That's YouTube's new policy. Removing, raising, reducing, and rewarding. The 4 R's. This is what they have to say. We've been investing in the policies, resources, and products needed to live up to our responsibility and protect the YouTube community, that's you guys, from harmful content. This work is focused on 4 pillars. Removing violative content, and on the website they brag about how they've already taken down almost 10 million videos and shut down over 3 million channels. Raising up authoritative content, reducing the spread of borderline content, and rewarding trusted creators. Videos that violate our policies are removed, and users are seeing less borderline content and harmful misinformation. This next part is actually pretty scary. It says, as we do this, we're partnering closely with lawmakers and civil society around the globe to limit the spread of violent, extremist content online. We've been taking a close look at our approach towards hateful content in consultation with dozens of experts in subjects like violent extremism, supremacism, civil rights, and free speech. And here they have a link. You click the words partnering closely, it takes you to this online initiative, and it's all about Christchurch, and it's called the Christchurch Call. And remember, the Christchurch shooting live stream video came through Facebook. And this is the one chunk I want to read from that link. It says, the Christchurch Call is a commitment by governments and tech companies to eliminate terrorist and violent extremist content online. It rests on the conviction that a free, open, and secure internet offers extraordinary benefits to society. Respect for freedom of expression is fundamental. However, no one has the right to create and share terrorist and violent extremist content online. You've been warned. Big bold letters. Removing more hateful and supremacist content from YouTube. We're specifically prohibiting videos alleging that a group is superior in order to justify discrimination, segregation, or exclusion based on qualities like age, gender, race, caste, religion, sexual orientation, or veteran status. We will remove content denying that well-documented violent events like the Holocaust or the shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary took place. You're out. If you're trying to shed more light on those two events, or events like them, you're out. Bold letters. Reducing borderline content and raising up authoritative voices. Ooh. So, authoritative voices here are referring to mainstream news outlets. They're basically saying they want you to only watch news on YouTube that comes from vetted sources like CNN, Fox News, ABC, NBC, and the rest. Those are the ones you can trust. In their own words, they say, we also want to reduce the spread of content that comes right up to the line. We limit recommendations of borderline content and harmful misinformation, such as videos promoting a phony miracle cure for a serious illness, or claiming the earth is flat. Our systems are also getting smarter about what types of videos should get this treatment, and we'll be able to apply it to even more borderline videos moving forward. As we do this, we'll also start raising up more authoritative content in recommendations. Sometimes a video alone does not provide context to viewers about what they are watching. We want to make sure that people who watch videos about topics prone to misinformation are provided additional information while viewing. For example, when people watch videos that encourage viewers to skip the MMR vaccine, we show information panels to provide more basic scientific context, linking to third-party sources, like this. I'll give you a second to check that out. These are the links you can watch. For example, if you're thinking about skipping that MMR vaccine, make sure you check in with the experts from these sources. Big bold letters. Continuing to reward trusted creators and enforce our monetization policies. It's critical that our monetization systems reward trusted creators who add value to YouTube, because that gets us more money. In the case of hate speech, we are strengthening enforcement. Channels that repeatedly brush up against our hate speech policies will be suspended, meaning they can't run ads on their channel or use other monetization features like Super Chat. It's our responsibility to protect and prevent our platform from being used to incite hatred, harassment, discrimination, and violence. We are committed to taking the steps needed to live up to this responsibility today, tomorrow, and in the years to come. YouTube, our savior from hate speech, because there's nothing worse in this world than words that can be used to hurt people based on someone's subjective opinion. Yeah, guys, it's pretty scary. It really is Orwellian. This is the Big Brother state. And luckily, a lot of people are seeing it. In a way, I'm a hypocrite because I'm posting this video on YouTube. I'm trying to grow a YouTube channel. People ask me why I'm doing that, and it's because this is where people still are, and I'm trying to reach people. I'm not giving up on the masses quite yet. I feel like I have the ability to reach people with what I do. I use creativity and art, and I'm a nice guy, and I'm non-threatening. So I'm going to stay here as long as I can. All my videos are backed up now on BitChute, and the ones that aren't there yet will be soon. But yeah, it's here, guys. Censorship era is here. And these are all vague terms, and the mainstream narrative is trying to be the only narrative. And anything that contradicts or offers other perspective on a certain story is being omitted. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you're doing well. Sorry if the lighting got dimmer as I was recording. I am in a room and I had a lot of natural light, but the sun just set and the days are short because it's almost the solstice. And I know it got darker in here in the last 45 minutes or so. Next week we'll be back at home in Eastern Washington, not wearing a t-shirt anymore because it's way too cold for that up there. Give this video a thumbs up, share it with somebody who needs to hear it, and I'll see you next week. So what did we learn here today, Jimmy?
Sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can break your heart.
They sure can, Jimmy. They sure can.